I was in high school, and some of the upperclassmen that had graduated before attended Prairie View, and he used to come back and tell us about it, tell us about it, how he had a good time and everything. And I said, you know what, I think that's where I want to go. And I sent off my application and everything, and that's why I went to Prairie View. And I've enjoyed it the whole time. When it came to my children, it was never a conversation because we always attended homecomings, and my oldest son played football. So we went down for football games every other week or whenever they had games. And it was no conversation about where we're going to go. This is what they wanted to do.
You see, my HBCU experience is very unique because I didn't attend an HBCU for my undergraduate degree. I had other offers and other opportunities at another school, but it started with my parents. My dad is no longer with us, God rest his soul, graduated and played football at PV, and my brother did too. And growing up, that's all we knew. We saw the pictures in the picture books and the dorm rooms and just the things about PV that our parents would tell us. I mean, I hear them cymbals, man. I hear that band coming down. I just kind of get this feeling. And so I knew that from jump. I mean, we would get up at 4:35 in the morning to get to PV, just to get there and be on the front row of the parade. I mean, it was dope. And that was my experience growing up. And so fast forward to dropping my brother off. He goes, I think he finished in like 93 from high school. So he goes to PV, and at this time I'm kind of in junior high, and I'm loving like the whole athletics. Like that's my realm, that's what I do. And so here my brother's going to play football at PV, and I'm right there with him. I'm getting to see this experience. I'm in Holly Hall with him and his roommates, kind of seeing how they do things. I feel like I'm on,
a different world.
Different world. I feel like I'm on, what's the other one? School Days. I feel like I'm living this, And so it was just awesome. That was my experience at an early age. And so just seeing to take the stories that our parents told us about PV and to see it in my brother's incarnation, to see him go through that was kind of my experience out the gate. And so that was the beginning for me.
For me, I already knew what I was going to do. I had the desire to be in the marching storm, but I kind of reneged at the last minute. My brother was mad at me. But I was trying to focus on my studies because I was supposed to be a nursing major, but that changed. I always knew I wanted to go to Prairie View because of the legacy and the culture that my parents instilled in me from birth. Like we went to Prairie View, like my mom said, all the time. But then actually going down to homecoming and being able to be in the realness of Prairie View and experience everything, and then being around the sorority and the fraternities, and then the fact that Zeta Phi Beta and Phi Beta Sigma are constitutionally bound just made it, that was like the icing on the cake. I think one of the things that I really cherish is the fact that me and my mom and I, we actually pledged Zeta Phi Beta, Sorority Incorporated, and she actually had an opportunity to pin me because we are part of the same undergraduate chapter.
And so with me, my dad and my brother are both members, and myself both members of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And when I crossed, my dad and my brother were there. That's a big moment for me because shortly after that, we lost both of them. But that was a big moment because he was able to be there and be a part of that whole process with me, and just being a legacy, not only at PV, but in Phi Beta Sigma. It's just been, this is something I can't trade in. My parents are a big reason of why the way I am the way I am. And so just to be able to have that experience and them be part of that for both of us, or all of us, including, all of my siblings, it's just been an awesome deal. But my experience came full circle when I was able to come back to PV as a grad student. Did I get the full undergrad PV experience? No, not as an undergrad student, but being there from a childhood, having family, friends, kids that I grew up with, go to PV, I would spend a lot of weekends on the yard. And so I got to still do and be, in my undergraduate years, I got to still do and be a big part of what was going on and experience it for myself. And then just to see the love and how the people that make PV great, those souls that make that campus keep rolling, just to see how and feel that love when I was there for grad school, and it actually feels like somebody cares about, that you're trying to further your life, and somebody actually cares that you want to be better. That's something that I can't say that every university is going to offer. So I cherish the fact that I was able to come full circle and complete the legacy that my parents started for us.
I'm proud of you guys because you all followed in our footsteps, and even with Chris, because he started it out, and then you all looked up to him, and we just love you all, and you just, made you better people, I think, person by person. And it really makes my heart just, it's just, it really makes me feel good because you all are good people, and you help people, and you do the things that we daddy used to do. Same things we used to do, you all do. And I really appreciate that. And thank God for it. Really.
Attending PV, I've met a lot of people. Like I said earlier, there's people that I grew up with from grade school that attended PV, and I was always able to call on them when I was in undergrad, if I wanted to hang out with them or whatever. But just the amount of people with all these talents, a lot of times we go places and we're not quite sure what's going to happen. But when I got to PV, I was able to, and at that chapter of my life, I was able to meet a lot of people who were kind of on the same path as I was, trying to get that graduate degree so that they can move further in their career. And lo and behold, we finish, and now you see people everywhere in different walks of life and different administrative roles and different leadership roles that you can say, hey, I sat in the class with that person. And so what it does is it expands, expands your reach, it expands your sphere of influence. And I just met a lot of really cool people in my time at PV, not to mention all the people that I knew. And it's just been a real good situation.
I know right after graduating from Prairie View, the first question I was asked when I had an interview was, where'd you go to college? And I said Prairie View, and they said, okay, that's enough. So that was one thing that I realized is, they always say Prairie View produces productive people, and it's true. It's not one of those things that is just a slogan, but it's a really true statement. There's all people of all walks and diversity that do different things that came from Prairie View. There's doctors, nurses, teachers, musicians, engineers, you name it. There's somebody from Prairie View that is in that profession. And
I'm from San Antonio originally, and the high school I went to, Phyllis Wheatley High School, a lot of us went to Prairie View, and people from there, and some of the coaches and teachers went to PV. So now when we have reunions, we're all together. And you talk about everybody that went to PV, and we're all together. But when they have the Dallas PV game, we all go there, we meet up together, and it's just like, you see everybody. That's the only time you can see everybody. It's with the reunions of PV games, and you see Southern PV or Dallas, especially the Dallas game, the fair game. Everybody's there, and it's just so, just makes you feel good.
I'm telling you, you hear that band coming over the
hills.
Yeah,
here it comes. But we would get up at 4:30 in the morning. I would fry chicken and potato salad and stuff the night before, and we'd take it in our truck. And look here, we get up at 4:30 because you know what? I am very timely, and I have to get there so I can get my spot. So we can get there and get our spot. So we can be ready to go to the game, go to the parade, and then come back so we can sit there for the game.
Because it's an all-day affair. You get up 4:30, you get down there, you got to go to the parade. You hang out in the MSC, and then you have a little chicken and potato salad in the back.
We parked our truck where we could see everybody as they come by, so they know we had chicken and sodas and everything. So it was just like a party.
Like I said, then you see that band come around and go to the stadium, and that's when it's on now.
Yeah.
I have 9 grandkids, and we're gearing them to watch Prairie View.
I know for me, I already told my son he's got to go to HBCU. He already has Prairie View in his heart, but should he not make that choice, I told him as long as he goes to HBCU, then that's where my money's going. We are the Reed family. We are HBCU royalty.
And our degrees are black.
And my children's will be too.